Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be going over a topic that I get complained to about time and time again, mainly from permanent members of staff out there, and it's often a reason that candidates look to move on as well. Obviously my field is engineering, but I'm sure it would apply to others. But a lot of people complain, Dan, my boss is giving me too much work, they're not appreciating what I do, I'm just forever given more piles of work with little recognition, and most of the time, in my industry that I see, no overtime pay. Yeah, lack of appreciation, lack of reward is there. But I say to the engineers, I say to the candidates in my industry, this has got to start from yourselves. You've got to be clear with expectations. It'll be in your contracts that your working hours are, for instance, 9 till 5:30 or 8:30 till 5, whatever they might be. Yes, every now and again, you might need to show a little bit more dedication, a little bit commitment to the role, to get a job over the line and stuff like that. But if you're constantly turning up at 7 a.m, you're not leaving the office until 7:30, 8 at night, then this all starts with yourself. And I say to engineers in my industry, this starts with yourself. You've got to be clear with yourself in terms of, how much work you want to be doing. Some might be workaholics and they love it and they, can't get enough of it, and that's fine. If that's them, that's no problem with that. But not everyone is the same. And then some people often moan about it. So I say this starts with yourself. So if your contracted hours are 9 till 5, then you need to stick to that quite rigidly. If you're happy to do more, that's up to you. But for the ones that are having a bit of a complaint up here and there, you need to stick to the hours that you're contracted to work. For instance, if a freelancer or a contractor comes into the business, and I know engineers in my industry would have seen this, they come in and they get paid for absolutely every hour that they work. So every hour that they work, they're getting paid for. So my question to permanent members of staff is, you need to be strict with your own time. You need to manage your time professionally, manage your time personally, and how much is your personal time worth at the end of the day? Because if you're giving up a lot of your personal time to work for little recognition or no reward, no financial reward, then you've got to question yourself on this one. So I always say to people, work your contracted hours. If every now and again, once in a blue moon, you have to stay a bit later to get a job over the line or etc., then so be it. Sometimes you have to do these things. But if you're constantly being pressured by your boss, to do this, do that, and it takes you outside of your working hours, then you need to have a conversation with them and say, look, a freelancer would get paid by the hour, every hour, for what they're doing. As a permanent member of staff, and I'd argue that permanent members of staff have more loyalty to the business that they're working for. They've obviously committed their full-time efforts to that company, whereas a freelancer could be working for a number of companies at the same time. Obviously, you're more committed, you're more dedicated. Why are you not being rewarded for overtime that you're doing, but freelancers are? So therefore, make sure that you're just working at your contracted hours. If you start staying behind at your own free will, then, that employer's going to think, oh, happy days, Joe Bloggs is doing all this extra work and not even asking for a penny more. So of course they're not going to argue with that. So you need to be strict with yourself here. So I hope that helps. If there's anything that I've missed out on that, do let us know. If you've got any other comments, drop them down in the section below. Give us a like, drop it a share somewhere, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.